What's up everyone? I've got another package here and this is a pretty exciting one. When I came back to the fingerboard scene, I expected Preet to still be that very elusive deck brand that everyone wanted but was still really hard to get unless you went on eBay and found one resold for a couple $100s. I was very surprised to come back to another brand being on that same level, if not a little higher in terms of how elusive and coveted these decks are, and that's woob. I had no idea what woob was or what their philosophy was or what their decks looked like. I just kind of came back and all of a sudden saw that the very common tag on eBay was now Preet and woob. So I was very fascinated by that. Eventually I found woob's page, saw that they had some really sick Dragon Ball graphics and some really beautiful hand-painted work. After asking a couple of my buddies how they felt about their woob decks and pretty much getting a consensus that they're great decks and they perform super well and are beautiful and well crafted, I of course wanted to get my hands on one. So I got one off the site, and this is actually a mystery deck. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Zach DM'd me after I purchased it, and originally I was going to buy one of the new Toonie graphics, but he decided he wanted to send me something different, and I have no idea what's in here, so let's check it out. Alright, let's see what's in here. Big old pink woob sticker, very cute. I've never had any woob stickers, so I'm excited about that. A bunch of little ones too. This is awesome. The graphic design on them is really sick, I think. Very simple, very elegant. Okay. So close to seeing what's in here. Wow. Beautiful. Dang, dude. That blue, that white to blue is absolutely stunning. And it's beautifully complemented by that pink woob logo. The shape is insane. I've never seen a cozy shape in person. An adorable little graphic. Holy shit, man. This deck is beautiful. He told me this was an all maple deck, meaning it probably performs very, very well. Very solid pop and whatnot. Plies are also awesome. I know you're gonna struggle to look at this, but just beautiful. I kind of wanted to compare it to my FL deck. Oh, sweet. It's somewhat similar to the FL B2 shape. I mean, I think it's even a little more dramatic. But it honestly looks awesome, and it's got a really nice length to it. I was worried it would be a little too short, but I think it looks like something I could definitely really enjoy using. Alright, it's absolutely beautiful. So this is a woob. I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Zach, for sending me something a little extra special. It truly means a lot. This is a gorgeous deck, and I'm so excited to get to know it and finally see what everyone loves so much about woob. These graphics are obviously hand painted and done very, very, very nicely. I'm personally not a huge fan of graphic decks unless they're hand painted. So this is just perfect. It's absolutely stunning. Anyway, I'm gonna go freak out about how beautiful this is. Thank you so much, Zach. It really means a lot. This thing is stunning. Go get yourself a woob on his website. He randomly updates listings and they'll be available for you to purchase if you're lucky and go check on the right time. So I'll hop on again with what I think about in terms of performance. Alright, so I've been getting to know this deck a little bit, and I'd love to talk about the performance. I set it up with some black velvet, as always, some ducky tape. I normally hate large grip gaps, but with ducky tape I don't really mind it. If anything, I really enjoy it. So shout out to Savannah. And I also did some BRTs and some cartwheels. So the shape is awesome. I mean, I didn't know I liked short wheelbases and long kicks until I got this FLB2 shape, and it completely changed my world. It's crazy how comfortable a deck is when the wheelbase is short and the kicks are long. That's definitely what I'm feeling with this woob. It also has quite deep concave. So when it's called cozy, I can absolutely see why. Your fingers get nice and tucked into the beautiful shape design, and it just feels spectacular to ride. I really didn't need to get used to it very much. Unsurprisingly, it performs incredibly well, and I'm very much impressed. Sometimes when decks are this beautiful, they don't always perform very well, but this is definitely an exception because it's beautiful, performs ridiculously well, and craftsmanship is spectacular. So I'm super stoked. I'd love to talk a little bit about the hype of this brand. I believe this is probably the most hyped deck brand I've ever witnessed in my fingerboard history. Maybe more hyped than Preet. I'm not sure, but I would say probably more hype than Preet, at least right now. So is it worth the hype? That depends. Would I give my firstborn for a woob? Sure, I'm adopting anyway, but would I pay $100 plus for one? No, I wouldn't. And honestly, I wouldn't do that for any deck. I just don't believe in the resale price of decks being high because I like to keep things within the community. I feel like that just invites a certain kind of crowd that makes things inaccessible and not as close-knit as they could be. So I wouldn't say this is worth $300. It's worth whatever it's worth to you. It's not worth that to me. For me, it's worth a purchase straight from the source, straight from Zach. For whatever price he sets it at, I think that's perfect. But yeah, I mean, you could have my first baby. I'll trade you for a woob, but I just wouldn't pay more than $100 for one. I'm also a frugal person, so take that as you wish. Now, in terms of hype and whether this is the best deck in the world, that is an interesting question. Personally, I don't see anything, especially not fingerboarding, in a tiered list, with a 1 being all the way on top. I do see tiers, but I group all the bests instead of ranking them. For instance, I would say 1 tier in my mind is textbook perfect, meaning solid craftsmanship and performance, and then there's just spectacular, or whatever adjective of your choice there. And that would be textbook perfect in terms of craftsmanship, but overwhelmingly amazing in terms of feel and performance. I've had some decks that were textbook perfect, but while they performed well, they just weren't something I would grab or gravitate towards because they didn't have a unique feel. Whereas certain decks, like my absolute fingerboards, my Lakewoods, my Preets, my FL deck, those are all up there. They are in the top tier, meaning if I had to assort them in terms of my favorites, I just wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to. It's just too hard. I love them all equally. I think they're all perfect in their own ways. So I would definitely say that woob would go up there in that highest tier that I have. I genuinely love how detailed this graphic is. Zach is clearly a very detail-oriented guy, and this deck is just stellar in every way. I've never ridden a shape like this. It's very unique. It's very comfy. It's responsive. It rotates super well. It flips well. The pop is incredible. I can't say anything bad about it. I can't do it. So don't make me. I love it. I think he did a fantastic job. He's got a real knack for art, because to me this is just beautiful. Even as someone who doesn't enjoy the color pink, I actually really love the pink on this deck. I like that it's got a black background. That stark contrast is very pleasing to me, and the opposite colors on the other end, pink and blue, and then black and white. I'm not sure if pink and blue are opposites in terms of color theory, but anyway, I just think it's well done, well designed. Craftsmanship couldn't be any more perfect. I mean, I've really looked at this thing and it's stunning. So thank you so much, Zach. I really appreciate it. This red middle ply is stunning. He knows I like red middle plies because we've chatted a little bit in the past. So when he told me that I would be receiving a mystery deck with a red middle ply, I was very happy to hear it. Honestly, I couldn't be more stoked on my first woob. I think it's perfect. And I'm honestly shocked to see how many perfect deck brands there are. I was a little bit dispirited in the beginning of my return to the scene, but now I've got like 4 or 5 brands that I know I will absolutely love regardless of what I try from them, and woob is one of them. So he has a relaxed version, a relaxed prototype type shape that he's going to release at some point, and I'd love to test that out as well. But honestly, the way my fingers feel on this is so unique compared to most of the other decks I have aside from the FL deck. So I'm just gonna have fun enjoying this shape and getting to know the board. So thank you so much, Zach. Really means a ton that you sent me such a special board, and I couldn't feel more thankful and grateful for your time and making this little piece of art. Hope you all enjoyed watching me take more things out of packages and enjoying bargaining my first newborn. So yeah, let me know if you want my second. That one's still up for grabs. Have a great day, and thanks so much, Zach, for the woob. I love it.